Hi, my loves. Welcome back to Healing the Feminine Wound series. Today, I've decided to enter one of the deepest layers of this journey, the mother wound. Before we go any further, I want to say this that mother wound is a vast topic. It's a layered topic. There is no one way to define it. No one story captures it all. And I don't claim to know everything about it. But what I'm sharing today is what I've lived through in my journey, through my experiences, what I've witnessed in others, and the spaces, the healing spaces that I've held for other women I've worked with over the years. My intention isn't to give you all the answers because I don't have all the answers myself. But my intention is to open a space where something might click for you. Maybe you might feel a bit more seen. And if this happens, even just a little, I'll be very happy because then this conversation has done what it came here to do. Now, mother wound is one of the most sacred as well as most tender part of this healing journey of healing the feminine wound within ourselves. Because no matter what your relationship with your mother has been like, whether it was loving, strained, distant, or complicated, she is your first connection with the life itself. She was your home before you were born into this world. She was the very first reflection of what it meant to receive love, comfort, nurturance, and belonging. And when that connection, which was meant to be all of that, is fractured even subtly, then it doesn't just leave a mark on the surface. It leaves an imprint in the body, an ache in your heart, and a wound, a deep wound in your feminine soul. So what is a mother wound? The mother wound, as I see it, is the gap between what you needed from your mother and what you actually received emotionally, energetically, and physically. This wound can form through neglect or rejection by your mother, criticism by her, emotional absence or emotional abuse, enmeshment, or even subtle abandonment where you felt like she was physically present, the mother was there, but emotionally she was absent. Emotionally, she was distant from you. And sometimes this wound doesn't even look that obvious. You may have grown up in a good family. You may love your mother dearly, and yet you still carry this deep ache within you, a deep internal unworthiness that you feel inside, a sense of abandonment that cannot be explained. Now, mother wound can show up in many forms, but there are two powerful patterns that I've seen often. Number one is the emotionally absent, emotionally abusive, or critical mother. Let's talk about this kind of mother who, for whatever reasons, whether emotional trauma, unmet needs, or conditioning, she couldn't be there for you emotionally. Maybe she was cold, maybe she dismissed your feelings, maybe she constantly criticized you, dismissed you, or simply just didn't see you. And you may have grown up hearing things like, you are just too much. Stop being so dramatic. Or the one that hits the deepest. You are too sensitive. And sometimes it wasn't even words. It was just silence. A silence that said, you don't matter and I don't have space for you. And even as a child, if your basic needs were met, food, shelter, school, you were always emotionally hungry. And this kind of mother just doesn't hurt. It confuses a child because when the very person who's supposed to care for you, love you, nurture you, either criticizes you, controls, or neglects you, it creates a deep fracture within the soul. And then you start to believe that if my own mother couldn't love me, then probably I'm unworthy of love. Maybe there is something wrong with me. And over time, the belief eats away your confidence. You question your self-worth. You struggle to trust your emotions, your voice, your choices. So what do? You start to overcompensate. You strive to be perfect. You do all the things right, and yet nothing ever feels enough. Because deep down, your nervous system is wired to earn love. And then what happens? Your own harsh inner critic, your inner mother is born. And that inner voice of you, that inner mother, becomes harsh, demanding, and critical. Perfectionism becomes your coping mechanism. Overachieving becomes your attempt to finally feel enough. You push yourself beyond limits because a part of you believes that if I can just do a little more, if I can push myself a bit more, then probably I will be enough. I will be worthy of love. Now, this is not about blaming the mother. It is about recognizing the emotional impact of her absence so that we can allow ourselves, we can give permission to ourselves to grieve what we never received. Now, second type of wound is created by the enmeshed or the dependent mother. Now, this one is trickier because from the outside, it might look like that you had a very loving, caring bond with your mother. You guys were always together, enjoying each other's company. She told you everything. Maybe she called you her best friend. But what no one ever saw was that you were silently carrying her emotional baggage. You became her confidant, her only emotional support, and sometimes even her surrogate partner when her marriage or relationship failed. And because you were just a child, you didn't have a language for it. But your body knew everything. It was silently storing everything that you're going through. You felt her pain, maybe more than her sometimes. You learned to stay small, not to upset her. You learned to silence your needs because she needed you more. So you grew up with blurred boundaries. You confused love with obligation. And even as an adult now, you might carry the guilt of wanting space, distance, or having your independence, your freedom. You feel torn between your needs and her expectations. And maybe you've noticed that you struggle to make decisions without feeling guilty of it. You find yourself attracting a relationship where your role is to fix somebody, heal somebody, hold somebody. Because somewhere deep down you believe that my needs come second. Love just means sacrificing myself. So, my love, healing this wound doesn't mean cutting her off. It means reclaiming your identity, your voice, your truth, your whole self. So, here's the thing: mother wound, if left unhealed, it goes really deep. Your mother isn't just your first relationship, as we just discussed. She's also your template to understanding your own feminine. Before you even had words, you absorbed her energies, her pain, her worldview, her conditioning, her beliefs about herself, and her beliefs about you. She was the first mirror through which you saw yourself, your feminine self. If she couldn't nurture the feminine in you, then you might find it really difficult now to nurture yourself. If she rejected or dismissed your feminine qualities like sensitivity, emotions, then you might find it really hard now to lean into those qualities, your softness. But we should remember that this wound didn't begin with her, because she too was once a little girl with unmet needs, a woman with her own pain, a daughter of a lineage where feminine was silenced. And that's why healing this wound is so important. It's so sacred, because when you heal the mother wound, you're not just healing your relationship with your mother, you're healing the generations of silenced, unseen, exhausted, and abandoned women. And you are saying that it ends with me. The mother wound doesn't often speak through words, it speaks through the way you carry yourself. It whispers through the body, through your heart. You may not have language for it right now, but your nervous system remembers it. Now, there are a few signs to identify how it shows up in our lived experiences. Number one is, which we've already discussed a bit, you feel unworthy. There is a sense of unworthiness. You always feel like you're not good enough, no matter what you achieve. You may be the high achiever who always pushes herself, striving for more success, validation, perfectionism. But beneath it all, there is this quiet ache that always, this voice that always tells you that this is not enough. You are not enough. So, any kind of celebration doesn't land fully in your body, in your life, because you always feel that love is conditional. Number two is that you constantly care for others, but you feel empty inside. You have become the nurturer, the one who holds space for everyone else but yourself. And you may even feel guilty of needing anything at all. And overgiving has become your way of surviving, your way of being, even when your own cup is bone dry. Number three is you struggle to set boundaries without guilt. Saying no to others feels dangerous. Disappointing others feels like a panic button has been pressed inside the body. You may find yourself people pleasing, tolerating discomfort, or abandoning your truth just to feel safe, accepted, and worthy of love. Number four is you fear being abandoned too much. It's a big fear for you. There is a deep fear in you that if you allow yourself to just be the way you want to be, if you allow your fullness to come out, your emotional intensity and passions that you carry within yourself, then you will be rejected, shamed, or left behind. So you silence parts of yourself and stay small to maintain connection. Five is you feel unsafe being vulnerable. Basically, here your heart is closed because your mother represents your openness and connection to love, your heart chakra. So even in your close relationship, there's always a guardedness. So you may long for intimacy, but when it gets too close, you feel contracted, your heart closes. Vulnerability for you feels like you have exposed yourself. It feels like exposure, which feels too risky in your body. So you armor yourself up to protect yourself, even when what you crave is some softness, some openness. Number six is you carry this deep inner voice. It's a harsh critic that sits inside of you that doesn't let you rest. Your inner dialogue might be like, you should do more. Why can't you get it right? No one is coming to help you. The inner critic here is mimicking the emotional tone of the early care given to you. And this inner critic, this kind of voice, is wired into your nervous system And it keeps repeating until you heal it. Number 7 is you attract relationships where you give more than what you receive. You find yourself overextending in your relationships, emotionally, energetically, or even financially, in hopes of finally being seen, loved, and valued. And there is a pattern of chasing breadcrumbs and staying loyal to people who just don't see you. Number 8 is you struggle to trust other women and form deep, sacred sisterhood bond. You may feel judged, compared, or unseen in female spaces. There is a residue of competition or fear. There's this hidden belief in you, a belief that other women will betray you, reject you, and exclude you. But underneath is the grief of the mother-daughter bond that you never fully received. Now, my loves, let's take a breath here. Let it fully land in your body. This isn't about blame, this is about awareness. Because when we allow ourselves to bring finally something out of the shadow, we allow ourselves to begin our healing process. You're not broken, you're not alone, and this is not your fault, but this is an opportunity to heal, to feel all those parts of you that were never nurtured, and to become the mother to yourself, the one that you never had. Now, healing this wound, this mother wound, isn't about shaming or blaming your mother. It's about choosing yourself, your whole self, especially the parts of you that were shamed, the parts of you that were silenced, and the parts of you that were never allowed to fully bloom in her presence. You're not rewriting the past here. You're reclaiming your future with love, compassion, and fierce devotion to your healing. So, what can we do about this? Number 1 is start to reparent yourself. Offer your inner girl inside of you the safety, the love, the nurturance that you never received. Create a space in your life where her feelings are heard, her joy is welcomed, and her pain is held with gentleness. Speak to your inner child, your inner girl, often, and let her know that you are safe with me now. Number 2 is soften the inner critique. So the harsh voice inside of you, it's not you. You should know that. It's an echo that you once heard. Begin to replace it with the voice of the mother you wish you had. A voice that is warm, kind, and encouraging. One that says, you are doing enough, you're allowed to rest, and I love you no matter what. Third one is very important. Grieve without guilt. There is no healing without grieving. Allow yourself to mourn what you didn't receive without any guilt, without any judgment. Your pain is very much valid. Your sadness doesn't mean you don't love your mother. It just means that you are honoring your truth. Trust me, grieving is the gateway to wholeness. Number 4 is set sacred boundaries, healthy boundaries. You are not here to mother your mother. Remember that her healing is not your responsibility. You get to protect your peace, honor your needs, and say no without guilt. Healthy boundaries are how you now mother yourself. Number 5, build a new lineage. Surround yourself with women who feel safe, nourishing, and real. Let your nervous system slowly learn how to receive love from sisterhood without any fear. Let your body remember how feminine love, support, softness, and presence truly feel like. You are allowed to create a new sisterhood, a new family, the one that reflects your truth. Number 6 is cultivate a connection with the divine feminine. When the earthly mother has wounded you, the divine mother becomes your greatest medicine. She is the presence in you, the presence of the divine feminine that never left you alone. The love that lives inside your body, the wisdom that flows through your intuition. Connect with her through prayer, meditation, dance, ritual, or simply through stillness. Let her remind you of your worth, your softness, and your feminine power. Let her mother you as you're always meant to be mothered. You do not have to earn love anymore. You're not broken, you're not alone, and you're not too much. You are worthy without any performance, perfection, or pain, and you always were. Before I go, I want to give you a few questions for journaling. Number 1, you have to ask yourself, where do I still abandon myself just the way my mother used to abandon me? What did I long to hear from her that I now can begin to say to myself? What would it feel like to truly mother me? Not from a place of force, but from presence, pure presence, softness, and love. There is no rush to answer these questions. Just allow these questions to land in your body in form of healing. Now, healing your mother wound is kind of a lifelong journey for some people. And it's layered, it's tender, but it's so sacred. And I want to say that just by being here, just by listening and being willing to look into this wound, you're already doing something deeply powerful. Healing your mother wound isn't just about healing your relationship with your mother. It goes beyond that. It changes the way you start to show up for yourself with more love, more compassion, your truth. You begin to understand yourself on a very deep level. When you do the work, you see that you slowly become the woman that your younger self needed. So I just want you to be brave enough to say that it ends with me now. So thank you for listening to this episode. It wasn't easy for me to speak about it, but I showed the courage to create this video, and you showed the courage to listen to me. I am so thankful for that. And if you are ready to explore this work more deeply through embodiment, through Akashic Records, you will find the ways to connect to me in the show notes. It would be an honor to walk beside you on your healing path, and I will see you in the next episode.